All good. Feeling a good place, happy with it, and football's going well, so we just move on to the next game and try and give as good a performance as what we have done since we came back for pre-season. But things are moving well, and just continue to build on that as a group.
Has it kind of sunk in? Has it needed time to sink in that kind of that is the chapter closed almost on your Scotland career?
Well, probably since I've made the decision, to be fair, I'm pretty comfortable with it. Obviously, it was a lot of sort of back and forward and having chats with the people that matter, and you're mulling it over and all these things. So once you sort of come to the decision, you arrive at the decision, you make the decision, you make the call, then it's at that point then it's done. So it's I've been fine with it since then, and like I said, just focusing on the football. That's why I wanted to do it at that time, was early on, and then now we just focus fully on Celtic.
Be delighted with the football so far at this point of the season. Even already there's a sort of, seems as if there's a marker laid down of the standard that the manager expects and the players are delivering.
Yeah, and everything's going well at this point in time. We know how quickly things can change, so the biggest challenge now for the group is to stay on top of that, keep the hunger, keep training properly, keep everybody in a good place, playing for the team, and then hopefully that will continue the performance levels and the energy levels that we've showed so far. And obviously the next game at the weekend is the next opportunity to show that.
They're a tough one, they're a good team, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. They've done great over the last couple of seasons. Always give us tough games as well. With their set-up, they can set up a couple of different ways, and we generally find it more difficult to sort of play against that. And once we get into our rhythm and flow, then sort of later on in the games as well, we've managed to go and kill the game off. So we know again it'll be a tough game, tighter pitch obviously at their place as well. So it's up to us to start the game properly and get the tempo going, and if we can try and score early and make it more of a comfortable afternoon than perhaps it could be.
It's obviously been quite a bit of speculation surrounding a few of the players' potential outgoings. Is that something that has an impact on the squad at all?
No, I don't think it's something we can't control really. As players, we have a good group. Even the guys that are linked are still training well. They're still happy. Good people, treat people with respect. So that's all we can ask as a group of players, is that we treat each other with respect. And when we go onto the training pitch, we train as hard as we can and try and give the maximum that we can. So anything else is out with our control really.
You've been quite impressed with Matt's attitude, because obviously it has sort of rumbled on for a few weeks. I know he said that in January it maybe did affect him a wee bit when there was talk about Atletico Madrid, but when there's been so much talk over the last few weeks, it's looked seamless on the pitch. Yeah,
exactly, and credit to him as well. A lot of chat can't be easy. But again, hopefully the group are trying to help him with that as well, and just trying to give him the same environment to help him grow and play. And each day that he's here, then we're happy to have him here. We want him here. And he's responded to that fantastically well. So until that changes, if it does, then I'm sure he'll keep giving the same, and the boys will keep giving him that environment that he loves as well.
Because the start of the season has been so good, is the hope that whether it's Matt, Kyogo, Rayo, whoever the rumours are about, that they are here when the window closes in a couple of weeks' time?
Yeah, for sure. Of course, you want to keep your best players, and naturally they'll attract attention, which happens in football. Shows that you're doing something right as well, which is good. But of course, for the group and the staff and the players, I would imagine we want to keep our best players.
Do you get involved in that situation with Matt? Obviously, you've had similar thing a few years ago. Talk about yourself. And can you help him, use your experience to kind of guide him along the way as well, when a younger player? To
be honest, he's been great. Obviously, I'm here for him if he needs that. I've said that to him as well. I don't want to get involved. And try and influence him either way. I don't want him to think that I've got an agenda either way. He's been fantastic for us. I'm here to help him if he needs any help. We've had a couple of chats, but to be honest, he's been fantastic in the way that he's dealt with it. Treated everybody with respect, and the way that he's trained and played has shown that as well. So, like I said, whatever happens will happen, and he can hold his head high because of the way that he's conducted himself, for sure.
You mentioned it's been a great start to the season. I don't think it's unfair to say probably the frustration from supporters has been the lack of transfers into the club. What would be your message to those fans who maybe are just getting a wee bit tetchy with a week to go and want to see the club do more in the window?
Yeah, well, again, I think everybody wants the club to keep moving forward. The one thing we know about modern day transfer windows is it's tough to get business done. especially when everyone sees that you're cash rich and everything's going well and you're doing well, then prices get inflated, all these things start to happen. So it's just patience, and we got to trust the guys upstairs to make the right calls, to make the business happen that everybody wants to happen. But like I said, us as players, we don't get involved too much. We try and play football, we try and train as hard as we can, and when we come to the pitch on the Saturday, we try and give the supporters what they want.
There's obviously an international break coming up. Have you made plans for that? Is that quite a weird thing that you're going to have maybe a few days off that you can just do what you want?
I've not made any plans yet. Obviously we've got 2 games before then that need full attention, so yeah, of course it'll be slightly different, but I'll probably get a wee bit of time off, so I'll wait to see what I'm going to do with that. But for the time being, then I'm fully focused on the game at the weekend, and then obviously a big game the following week as well. So I'll just continue on that route at the minute, and then I'll decide after that.
When you were having the conversation with Steve Clarke about it, did he try and persuade you to stay on? Was it a case of he just respected your decision? Was it a few talks back and forward?
No, we just did the one chat, and no, he was respectful to what I was sort of giving him on the phone and the chat that we had. So we're both experienced people. He's an experienced manager, I'm an experienced player, and I try not to be too high maintenance as a player. So I think when I sort of gave him my thoughts, then he was happy to respect that, and I get an enormous amount of respect for Steve and what he's done for the national team and what he's done for my national team career as well.
Is it getting harder and harder for footballers in general? I mean, a few years ago where you maybe got a game early June, but now there's qualifiers in mid-June. It's almost no downtime. Is it just you think more players will get to the stage that you're at and think, well, we can't keep going like this?
I think, yeah, football is just like that now. Even the guys that don't have international, you get very minimal time off, and Champions League's been extended, the UEFA competitions have been extended. So yeah, it's getting busier and busier, but it's just part and parcel of football, really.
Your manager here said, you never switch off anyway when you get a day off. You're just thinking about the game or making sure you're recovering properly. Is it going to be a different kind of mindset when you go into that week in September and you maybe do have a few days off? Is it?
Probably not. He's probably spot on, to be honest. I'll probably be thinking about the first game back straight away, but I guess it's just the way that I'm wired. So I'll try and enjoy it, try and take a few days off and see what I got up to. But for sure, we're only at the start of the season, so there's a lot of work to be done and a lot of thought process in terms of where we want to get to. So for sure that'll be in the forefront of my mind as well.
Did you know going into Euros, it was in the back of your mind that that was going to be your last time with the Scotland camp? Or?
No, not really. To be honest, it was just a decision that I made after it. Like I say, you get a feeling for these things, and you just got to trust your instinct. So that's why I made the decision.
Just on the Champions League, you were mentioning there about the excitement and all that, the changing of format. From the sense of the players, is there a sense that there is a real opportunity to make a real mark this season with that new format, the opportunities that brings with it? Is there that excitement within the squad? Because obviously the last couple of years you've not made the impact you maybe wanted to make.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously a new format, obviously I might say it makes it slightly easier, but in theory, you playing more teams around your kind of level, and you still have obviously the glamour games within that as well. So it'll be a new format for everyone. Obviously I'll be excited, but I think even if we were continuing with the old format, I think the win against Feyenoord at the end of this campaign and last one, I think that's probably given the boys a big shot in the arm, because for so long it was glorious failure. You're doing well in games, you lose a goal last minute against Lazio. The Atletico Madrid game finishes 2 each when you do enough to probably win the game. So I actually think probably just that game on its own has been enough to give the boys the sort of energy and the belief that we're good enough here. We've almost got the result there. We've now got over the line. We know what it looks like on a Champions League night. So I think that more than anything, but for sure the new format will change things slightly as well. When the way that team's playing, then there's no reason why we can't go in and try and make a mark as well.
You talked about Feyenoord there. It was Mattarelli that set up that winning goal. So do you think, from a selfish perspective, it's good to have these players with experience around for the new campaign?
Yeah, absolutely. Experience at that level especially is vital. We try and keep as much of the group together as what we can. Obviously we're players like Matt will attract speculation, and whatever happens there, we might need to try and find the next one. But if we can keep him, then for sure that's going to help the group. He's a top player, like you said, he made an impact in the Champions League last year. And then just everybody being together for another 12 months is hopefully going to put us in a better foot for when we get to that.